Hello, welcome. This is Deacon Kirby with another Trailblazing Tuesday, where I just pick a gospel artist that I feel has been trailblazing in the things that they do. And this person I think has been real trailblazing. Today, I want to talk about, and no, I'm not talking about I'm not talking about a white, bald-headed man that loves to clean your house. No, I'm talking about a black, bald-headed man that loves to clean the house. And not just any house, but when he sings, the Spirit comes in and cleans the house. I think that's why they probably called him Mr. Clean. I'm talking about Bishop Richard White. Bishop Richard Mr. Clean White. That guy is so amazing. He's been out through the years. He's a phenomenal preacher. If you haven't heard him, just type his name in on YouTube. Type in Bishop Richard Mr. Clean White. Bishop White, he's done so much in the gospel music industry, the gospel music world, and wrote phenomenal songs. And if you don't know any of the songs he wrote, just listen to the Clark sisters, because the Clark sisters, they sing lots of his songs that he wrote. Clark sisters are very tight. They tight with Mr. Clean. Many of y'all probably remember Karen and Kiki singing, "The safest place in all the world is in the will of God." Mr. Clean wrote it. A lot of people might know this song. "For the devil is a liar and a deceiver too. God is not through blessing you." Mr. Clean wrote it. Another song that you might know is "Accept What God Allows." I'm not gonna make this a concert, but these are some songs that Mr. Clean wrote, just to name a few. And Mr. Clean, I mean, this guy is phenomenal. If you haven't heard him preach, sing, you have missed a lot, because Mr. Clean, and he's still going on strong today. I met him one time. Might show a photo right now. He was at Pastor Rosie Wallace's church, and that guy preached. I mean, I asked my mother, and my mother told me about him. She told me that back in the day when she was younger, she would go here and preach. That man was a preacher. I first got to know about Mr. Clean, but I'm hearing "Accept What God Allows." It was on a Church of God in Christ cassette tape of, I'm not sure it was on it, because the only thing we played on it most of the time was just Twinkie and Mr. Clean. And it was such a cornerstone in my childhood days, because I could quote that whole song and the ad-libs and the words of the testimony before he started singing. And it always starts off, he said, "More than 10 years ago, Dr. Clark, Twinkie, and I," he was preaching at Reverend Jasper Williams' church, and he started talking about 10 of his members that been killed in a wreck. And he asked the Lord, he said, why? Because he had 4 members that got killed at one time. He had to bury 4 members at one time. And he said, "Lord, why did you take them 4 members?" He said, "I took them 4 because those who were ready, and I'm giving others a chance to get right." One of the most powerful words in that whole track. Mr. Clean will always be a childhood favorite of mine, because that is what I grew up on. Sometimes you have little tapes and stuff you listen to while you was younger. That was one of them, and I will always remember that. And "Accept What God Allows" will be probably in my top 10 favorite songs, because there's a whole lot of songs I like. but that's in my top 10. I got a whole bunch of categories for songs. But with that being said, today Trailblazing was Mr. Clean. And don't you see, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you check out Mr. Clean on YouTube and like his page on Facebook, because he got a Facebook page too. And if you haven't heard his new song that he came out with, I Don't Look Like What I've Been Through. And I think that would be a whole lot of people's testimonies. I mean, if you live here in Philadelphia and you walk down Board Street, there's some people that look like what they've been through. But there's some folks you can say, I'm glad I don't look like what I've been through.